Hello students, this is sixth sheet of application of derivatives and the first question is here. It is a very simple question, I think. Consider the function fx equal to a minus 4 pi square to x square sine of root theta upon 1 plus cos square of root theta d theta. So we have to decide which of the following statement is correct, and in the options he is seeking for local minima and local maxima point. So obviously we have to get f dash x first. This is sine square root of x square upon 1 plus cos square root of x square. So this comes to be sine mod x upon 1 plus cos square mod x, which is nothing but cos square x. Now let us check it option wise. In A option, a local minima x equal to 2 pi, we can see that when x is less than 2 pi, even then less than 2 pi, then x is less than 2 pi. 2 pi is angle is here. If x is less than 2 pi, then the angle will lie in the fourth quadrant where the sign will be negative and derivative will be negative, hence. And if x is greater than 2 pi, then this angle will lie in first quadrant where sign is positive, hence f dash x is positive. So this is decreasing then increasing, so there is a minima at x equal to 2 pi, obviously. Local maxima at x equal to pi, okay, let us see B option, pi. If x is less than pi, then angle will lie in second quadrant. Second quadrant means positive, and if x is greater than pi, then this angle will lie in third quadrant means negative, increasing and then decreasing maxima. So this is also correct. Fx has local minima at x equal to 0. If x is equal to 0, then we can see for the options, if x tends to 0 minus, mod x will tend to 0 plus, means this angle will be in the first quadrant, and hence sign of mod x will be positive, and hence f dash x will be positive. And if x tends to 0 plus, even then this will lie in the first quadrant and it will be positive. So neither local minima nor maxima at x equal to 0. Yeah, at x equal to minus pi, the result will be same as on x equal to pi, because here modulus is there. So it will be actually maxima at x equal to pi, hence local maxima at x equal to minus pi also. So A, B, D are correct in this question, and this is question number 2. The function fx equal to root of x square. Root of x square plus 1 upon x minus 1, which of the following holds good? F has local maxima but no local minima. F has two asymptotes. There are exactly two integral values which are not in the range of the function, and f is continuous and differentiable everywhere in its domain. So f is continuous and differentiable in its domain because there is no such point which is changing the definition of the function. Its domain is all real number except 1, so D is correct. And to check ABC, let us find differential coefficient of fx, and that will be x minus 1 into 2x upon root of 2 root of x square plus 1 minus root of x square plus 1 upon x minus 1 whole square, that is equal to x minus 1 whole square. And this is actually 2 is cancelled, square root of x square plus 1, and here is x square minus x square plus 1, that is nothing but actually minus of x plus 1 upon x minus 1 square root of x square plus 1. Now number line minus 1, f dash x is obviously negative and here positive. It is increasing then decreasing, so it is local maxima. Now to find the asymptote, we know one asymptote is clearly one asymptote parallel to y-axis is x equal to 1. And to find the asymptote parallel to x-axis, let us find the limit x tending to plus infinity is square root of x square plus 1 upon x minus 1, which comes to be plus 1, and limit x tending to minus infinity root of x square plus 1 upon x minus 1, that comes to be divide by x in numerator and denominator. I will get it is it is minus 1 and this is plus 1. So guys, uh, this is what exactly number of asymptotes. One is x equal to 1, other is y equal to minus 1, and other is y equal to plus 1. There are three asymptotes, so this option is wrong. Now local maxima, f has local maxima but no local minima, that is also correct. Only one point is observed where derivative is 0, and that is x equal to minus 1, which is maxima. So there is a maxima but no local minima. There are exactly two integral values which are not in the range of a function. So let us draw the graph of it. We can find it, the range of easily. See, I am drawing the graph here, rough sketch. One asymptote is y equal to 1, other asymptote is y equal to minus 1, and another asymptote is x equal to 1. Now, if x tends to, this is exactly about x equal to 1, if x is greater than 1, we can see from here, if x is greater than 1, the function is positive, and if x is less than 1, the function is negative. Also, means here is positive and if this side is negative. Also, if x tends to 1 plus, the function tends to plus infinity, and if x tends to 1 minus, y tends to minus infinity. It is clearly when x is slightly greater than 1, the value of fx shoots up to plus infinity. So the curve should be like this. No maxima minima observed here, so I will make it smooth, respecting the asymptotes to touch the curve at infinity. And here, when x is slightly less than 1, the curve shoots down to minus infinity, and hence the graph will be like this. And at minus 1, here a maxima is observed, and a maxima is observed. Whether this will cut y equal to minus 1 or not, let us solve. Root of x square plus 1 upon x minus 1 is equal to minus 1. X square plus 1 is equal to x square minus 2x plus 1. That comes to be x equal to 1 by 2. X equal to 0. Yes, x equal to 0. So x equal to 0, this will cut. So graph should be like this. Now the value of the range of fx is from minus infinity to this, and this is the value at minus 1. Put here minus 1. I will get how much? Root 2 upon minus 2, that is minus root 2. And here 1 to infinity. So this is the range. So number of integral values which are not in the range of the functions, this is approximately 1.41, right? So minus 1 and 0 is not in the minus 1, 0 and 1. Minus root 2, and here minus 1 and then 0 and then 1. So there are three integral values in fact which are not in the range of the function. So answer C is also not correct. Once check the calculation once more and then come to the conclusion. This is the question number 3. Fx is a polynomial one-to-one function such that fx fy is equal plus 2 is equal to fx plus fy plus fxy for all xy belongs to real number except 0. F1 is not 1, f dash 1 is 3, gx is this, and which of the following is correct? Gx has one root, gx equal to 0, exactly 2 root. Okay, we have to evaluate gx first. So for gx, I have to observe, I have to find fx first, and this is the functional equation we are given. So do something in this functional equation to get fx. This is fx plus fy plus fxy for all xy belongs to non-zero real numbers. Now if I put y, if I replace y by 1 by x, then I will get here fx into f of 1 by x plus 2 is equal to fx plus f1 by x plus f1. F1 is not 1. So if I put x equal to y equal to 1 in search of f1, I will get f square 1 plus 2 is equal to 2f1 plus f1. So f square 1 minus 2 f3 f1 plus 2 is equal to 0. Here f1 minus 2 and f1 minus 1 is equal to 0. F1 is not equal to 1. So f1 has to be 2. So if f1 is 2, then this is cancelled on both sides. Then fx plus f of 1 by x is equal to fx into fx plus 1 by x, which is actually fx equal to 1 plus x raised to power n. Now, to get n, I can f dash x is given, f dash 1 is given. So let us differentiate it, x raised to power n minus 1. Put 1, then f dash 1 is 3 is equal to n. So clearly here, fx is equal to 1 plus x raised to power 3. Now, if I got fx, then I can get gx from here. What is given? Gx is equal to x by 4. Here x cube plus 4 comes to be 0 to x cube plus 1 dx. Now guys, this is x raised to power 4 by 4 plus x minus x raised to power 4 by 4 plus minus x. This is minus x. So gx is going to be 0, isn't it? So gx is going to be 0 for all x. So option D is correct. Okay, like this you have to do. Next one. Next one is fourth. Yeah. Minimum value of definite integral 0 to pi by 2 x sine t minus cos t dt for x greater than 0 can be expressed as root of a minus root of b then find the value of a plus b. Okay. So how to do it? Let us do. Let fx is equal to, this is a function of x because the integration is done in respect of t, mod of x sine t minus cos t dt, where x is a positive quantity. Now, what to do? Let us convert it into divide by root of x square plus 1 and multiply by. So this is x upon root of x square plus 1 sine t minus 1 upon root of x square plus 1 cos t dt. This comes to be 0 to pi by 2 root of 1 plus x square, and if I call it to be, say, cos theta, then I have to call it to be sine theta. So this is sine t minus theta actually, and here obviously sine theta upon cos theta comes to be 1 by x. So theta is nothing but tan inverse 1 by x. Here this comes to be root of 1 plus x square 0 to pi by 2 modulus of sine t minus tan inverse 1 by x dt. Obviously, in order to remove the modulus, I have to break in the interval of integral at tan inverse 1 by x. So this comes to be 1 plus x square 0 to pi by 2 0 to tan inverse 1 by x. In this case, the modulus will open with negative sign. So minus sine t minus tan inverse 1 by x dt and plus root of 1 plus x square tan inverse to tan inverse 1 by x to pi by 2. In this case, because t is greater than tan inverse 1 by x, hence this quantity inside modulus will be positive and the modulus will open with plus sign. So this is nothing but t minus tan inverse 1 by x dt. Now we can integrate it with respect to t. This comes to be, this integral comes to be how much? Minus root of 1 plus x square cos minus cos plus cos t minus tan inverse 1 by x 0 to tan inverse 1 by x, and here minus root of 1 plus x square, and this comes to be cos. Why, if we have to find out minimum value, then why are you going to integrate it? We should not. We should directly differentiate here using Leibniz rule. So there is no need to get it. There is no need to get it. Just differentiate it with respect to t. So okay. But if we differentiate, this multiplication will trouble us. So better to integrate. That was the correct actually. So let us integrate it. Cos t minus tan inverse 1 by x, and limits are tan inverse 1 by x to pi by 2. So this is actually, if I put tan inverse 1 by x, then this will become 0, cos 0 is 1. So minus root of 1 plus x square 1 minus cos tan inverse 1 by x. Okay, and here minus root of 1 plus x square. So this is minus and this is plus. This is actually plus. Or here, if I put pi by 2, then it will become sine tan inverse 1 by x. If I put this, then cos 0 means minus 1. So this is actually the value of integral. Now, here, minus 1 and plus 1 is cancelled. Some mistake, calculation mistake is there. No, it is right. Okay. Minus plus. If 0 to tan inverse 1 by x, in 0 to tan inverse 1 by x here, this should open with negative, that is clear. Yeah. And integral of sine is minus cos minus minus plus. So this is okay. Let us do like this. This is tan inverse 1 by x minus t. So integral will be cos positive, but here tan inverse x minus t. If I put tan inverse, then cos 0 1, and if I put 0, then this is okay. This is now right. And here root of 1 plus x square should be taken as common, and inside 1 is cancelled, and this becomes minus sine inverse cos inverse of sine inverse 10. Here also some problem is there. This sign will come minus. Okay, this is, oh, that was correct actually. Here also tan inverse 1 by x minus t. Now if I put pi by 2, then this will become sine inverse, right? If I put this cos 0 minus 1, now it is correct. Okay, here minus sign will come, and here also minus sign will come. Root of 1 plus x square, root of 1 plus x square 1 minus cos inverse tan inverse 1 by x plus sine of tan inverse 1 by x. This comes to be tan inverse 1 by x. Okay, now this is your triangle, and this is actually 1 plus x square, and this comes to be root of 1 plus x square into 1, this is cos of tan inverse. If I convert it into cos inverse, this will become cos inverse x upon root of 1 plus x square, and this will become 1 upon root of 1 plus x square. So this is actually nothing but 2. I have made some mistake here also. Calculation. Okay. This is 1 plus 1, 2. Yes. Root of 1 plus x square into 2 minus sine inverse 1, sine of tan inverse 1 by x minus cos of tan inverse 1 by x, and clearly it is 1 plus x square 2 minus x upon 1 upon root of 1 plus x square minus x upon root of 1 plus x square, that is nothing but twice root of 1 plus x square minus x plus 1. This is actually our fx. Now we have to find out what minimum value of this function. So minimum value, for minimum value, f dash x is equal to x 2x upon root of 1 plus x square minus 1, that is going to be 2x minus root of 1 plus x square upon root of 1 plus x square, that is actually 0 for 4x square is equal to 1 plus x square, 3x square is equal to 1, x is equal to plus minus 1 by root 3. Now minus plus minus 1 by root 3 minus 1 by x is positive, isn't it? Yes, x is positive, so negative x is rejected. X equal to plus 1 by root 3. Fx comes to be how much? Here is your fx, put the value, that is equal to 2 plus 2 square root of 1 plus 1 by 3 minus 1 plus 1 by root 3. That is 4 by root 3 minus root 3 plus 1 by root 3. That is 3 minus root 3 by root 3, and options that is equal to root 3 minus 1, and comparing with this root a minus root b, a is 3 and b is 1, so a plus b comes to be 4. Next question. A to b, from a to b to r, a continuous monotonic function fx is there, and capital F is from a to b to r such that capital Fx is defined like this. Then which of the following option is correct? Capital Fx equal to 0 must have at least one root in AB. Capital Fx is positive if f is monotonic increasing. Capital Fx is negative for all x in AB monotonic if f is small fx is monotonically decreasing, and same sign and order. Okay, guys, one thing, if I assume, suppose gx is equal to x to b ft dt. Now g applying LMVT in interval x to b, then g dash C1 is equal to GB, that is 0, minus Gx, that is x to b ft dt, upon obviously b minus x. So guys, x minus b g dash c1 is equal to x to b ft dt, and g dash x is minus fx. So this is actually b minus x fx fc1 is equal to x to b ft dt. So by graph, or also using the graph, I can see this. What this is, suppose some fx, and from x to b, this is integral. This area is integral, and this is area of rectangle. So area of rectangle is the maximum area, and so and this, there should exist a rectangle representing the area under the curve, because the area of this rectangle, suppose this variable rectangle, this is variable rectangle whose width is x minus b always, and height is increasing, the maximum area that the rectangle can express is fb into b minus x, and minimum area is 0. So because this area under the curve is in between these two areas, I mean from x to b, integral ft dt is less than b minus x into fb greater than 0. Hence there should exist a rectangle which represents exactly this area. Suppose this rectangle is this red one, red colored rectangle, and the height of this is actually fc1, this is c1. So fc1 into with b minus x will be equal to x to b ft dt. So either using by graph or using by LMVT, you can establish that b minus x fc1 is equal to integral of ft from x to b. Similarly, if I assume some c2 in interval a to x, then suppose px is equal to this integral a to x ft dt, a to x ft dt. In the similar fashion, there should exist a p dash c2 such that p x minus pa upon x minus a. That means no, pa is 0, so that is px, that is 0 to x ft dt comes to be x minus a p dash c2, and p dash x is fx, so fc2. Now come to this capital fx. Capital fx is x minus a, and the value of x to b is this one. So let I put b minus x fc1 plus a to x. Let I put the value of this plus x minus b into x minus a fc2. Now this is nothing but x minus a into b minus x fc1 minus FC2. Guys, it is clear that C2 is greater than C1 because C2 lies between A and X. Sorry, C2 is less than C1. C2 is less than C1 because C2 lies between A and X and C1 lies between X and B. Now, let us, fx equal to 0 has at least one real root in A and B. Fx equal to 0 has at least one root between A and B. It will have if FC1 is equal to FC2, which is not true. So A option is not correct. Second option, fx is positive for all x in AB if fx is monotonically increasing. Guys, if fx is monotonically increasing, then FC2 will be less than FC1, or hence FC1 minus FC2 will be positive. So this quantity is positive, and if this quantity is positive, in order to have this positive, we must have this positive. And this is positive for what? A, B, negative, positive, negative. In interval A to B, this quantity is positive. So if fx is increasing, capital Fx is positive for all x in A and B. I think it is clear to everyone. Third option is, if monotonically decreasing, then fx is negative. If monotonically decreasing, if fx is monotonically decreasing, what will happen? FC2 will be greater than FC1, and in this case, this quantity will be negative, and hence this has to be negative. This has to be this quantity is negative, and this has to be positive in order to have capital Fx negative. So yes, this is also correct. C is also correct. Fx must have same sign throughout A and B. No, it will not have same sign throughout A and B. Either it is monotonically decreasing or monotonically increasing. So FC1 and FC2 will have different values. FC1, if FC1 and FC2 becomes equal, then only it can be 0. Otherwise, either it is positive or negative. So this B and C are correct. So D, let us एक बार और चेक कर लें इसको. Fx must have same sign throughout A and B. Monotonically increase, same sign, either positive or negative. Yes, that is true, because the function is monotonic. It is declared already that function is monotonic. If it is monotonic, either it is positive or it is negative. It is clear. So D is also correct. Come to this paragraph. Px is a polynomial of degree 8, 9x to the power 8 minus 18 x to the power 20x plus 15. At Px equal to 0 has exactly one real root, exactly two real root. Okay. See, Px is equal to Px is equal to can it be factorized? Yes, I think I can take x cube from here, x to the power 5 as common, and it will come 9x cube minus 18. I can take 9 also. This is x cube minus 2. And from here, I can take 20 as common, 5 as common. Let us do one thing. See, he's saying at least one root, at least two roots. So So let us use Rolle's theorem, right? If I have to establish at least one root of it in some interval, then the condition of Rolle's theorem should be fulfilled by its integral. अगर मुझे इसके रूट्स की बात कर रहा हूं मैं, एटलीस्ट वन रूट की बात कर रहा हूं किसी इंटरवल में, तो उस इंटरवल में इसके इंटीग्रल को, जिसका कि ये डिफरेंशिएशन है, इसके इंटीग्रल को रोलेस थ्योरम को फुलफिल करना पड़ेगा. सो एक काम करते हैं, चलो एक ट्राई करके देखते हैं कि एफ एक्स इज इक्वल टू पी एक्स दैट इज इक्वल टू एक्स रेज टू पावर 9 माइनस 3x की पावर 6 माइनस 5x की पावर 4 प्लस 15x. x ठीक है कॉमन, एंड x रेज टू पावर 8 माइनस 3x रेज टू पावर 5 माइनस 5x क्यूब प्लस 15. दिस इज x रेज टू पावर 5 माइनस 5 इंटू x रेज टू पावर 3 माइनस 3. यस, बन गई बात. नाउ f0 is equal to f3 raised to power 1 by 3 is equal to f5 raised to power 1 by 5. It means f dash plus c also. It means f dash x will have at least one root in 0 to 3 raised to power 1 by 3 and at least one root in 3 raised to power 1 by 3 to 5 raised to power 1 by 5. So there should be at least two roots. So at least two real roots in 0 to 5 raised to power 5. Okay, let us see. देखो बच्चों, अब 5 रेस्ट टू पावर 5 और 3 रेस्ट टू पावर 1 by 3 में 5 रेस्ट टू पावर 1 by 5 और 3 रेस्ट टू पावर 1 by 3 में कौन बड़ा है, कैसे पता करूं? एफ एक्स इज इक्वल टू या पी एक्स इज इक्वल टू या जी एक्स इज इक्वल टू एक्स रेस्ट टू पावर 1 by x है. जी डैश एक्स कितना हुआ? जी डैश एक्स हुआ -1 by x स्क्वायर इंटू एक्स रेस्ट टू पावर 1 by x log x प्लस 1 by x इंटू एक्स रेज टू पावर 1 by x माइनस 1, मतलब x रेज टू पावर 1 by x माइनस 2, x रेज टू पावर 1 by x माइनस 2 कॉमन ले लेता हूं और यहाँ क्या बचेगा 1 माइनस लॉग x. ये e पर इसका क्रिटिकल पॉइंट आ गया, डेरिवेटिव जीरो स्टेशनरी पॉइंट. e से बड़ी अगर वैल्यू है तो ये निगेटिव होगा, पॉजिटिव इंक्रीज कर रहा है. तो e तक ये इंक्रीज करता है और e के बाद ये डिक्रीज करता है. अच्छा, अभी भी नहीं पता कि 5 रेज़ टू पावर 5 और 3 रेज़ टू पावर 3 में कौन बड़ा है. लोकल मैक्सिमा है e पर और ये सारी की सारी वैल्यू e से ज्यादा है. e रेज़ टू पावर 5, मान लो कि भाई 5 रेज़ टू पावर 1 by 5 बड़ा है e से, तो 5 बड़ा e की पावर 5 से, ये तो गलत है. e की पावर 5 तो बहुत बड़ा हो जाएगा. सो ये सारी के सारी वैल्यूज जो है e से बड़ी हैं, नहीं e से छोटी हैं. तो ये इंक्रीजिंग मोड में है. इंक्रीजिंग मोड में है तो फिर इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि 5 पर फंक्शन की वैल्यू बड़ी है 3 से. यही मतलब हुआ ना. नहीं, e तक जो वैल्यू है, e पर क्या है मैक्सिमा, और 5 जो है वो e से बड़ा है बेटा. ये नहीं ऐसे कर, मैं भी क्या, ओ शिट. सी ये है एफ एक्स की पावर 1 by x की पावर एफ एक्स इक्वल टू एक्स रेज़ टू पावर 1 by x की स्टोरी. अब यहाँ पर if x is greater than e, then this is decreasing nature. 5 is greater than 3, so f5 is less than f3. So 5 raised to power 1 by 5 should be 3 raised to power 1 by 3. So what is happening? At least one root between 5 raised to power 1 by 5, and there are at least one root between 5 raised to power 1 by 5 and 3 raised to power 1 by 3. Hence, at least two root between 0 and 3 raised to power 1 by 3. So at least two roots. C answer is correct. Graph of Px represents the rate of change of the slope of tangent at any x. Okay. Fx graph Px represents the rate of change of Px is equal to rate of change of slope of fx is what? Derivative of f dash x. Rate of change of slope. Slope is what? F dash x. So rate of change of slope is what? F double dash x. So Px is equal to F double dash x. Okay. Number of horizontal tangents to the curve y equal to fx. ओफो, फिर से y equal to fx निकालना पड़ेगा मुझे. एक बार इंटीग्रेट कर. F double dash x कितना हुआ? Px. और Px कितना है? Px है हमारा ये, और उसका इंटीग्रल क्या है? F dash x कितना है? Integral of Px. That is integral of Px is this one. This one. So this is equal to x raised to power 5 minus 5, x raised to power 3 minus 3 plus c. Because f dash 1 is 8, so this is 8 at x equal to 1. So this is 15 plus c, means c is equal to minus 7. So f dash x comes to be here. Here is integral x raised to power 9 minus 3x to the power 6 minus 5x raised to power 4 plus 15x minus 7. So no. Well, we have put x equal to 1 na, not 0. X equal to 1. Okay. So if I put x equal to 1 here, I will get 8. Oh, c is 0. So I will get 8. So f dash x is nothing but this x raised to power 1 by x to the power 5 minus 5 into x raised to power 3 minus 3. So at how many points the tangent is the horizontal? At x equal to 0, x equal to 3 raised to power 1 by 3, and x equal to 5 raised to power 5, 1 by 5. So there are 3 points where the tangent is horizontal. Now, the angle between this one. Yes, angle between tangent at any point A of the curve, this, and the line joining A to origin. Suppose this is the curve. This is tangent at point A. Suppose this is x1, y1, and this is O. He is saying this is pi by 4. Okay, guys. dy by dx क्या है इसका? टेंजेंट का स्लोप. इसका स्लोप कितना है? m1 is equal to y1 by x1, और इसका स्लोप मान लीजिए m है. तो m कितना हुआ? dy by dx at x1 y1. dy by dx कितना है इसका? ये है 2x plus 2y y1 अपॉन y1 इज डेरिवेटिव, y डैश बोल देता हूँ, y1 पहले से यूज कर लिया मैंने, y डैश अपॉन x स्क्वायर प्लस y स्क्वायर, दैट इज इक्वल टू c अपॉन 1 प्लस y स्क्वायर बाई x स्क्वायर इंटू डेरिवेटिव ऑफ y बाई x इज व्हाट? x y डैश माइनस y upon x square. So this comes to be x square cancel, this is cancel, so 2x plus y dash is equal to c x y dash minus y. So y dash is how much? This is 2x plus cy is equal to cx minus 2y y dash. So this will become dy by dx at x1 y1, this upon this. So 2x1 plus cy1 upon cx1 minus 2y1. If I divide numerator and denominator by x1 in this, I will get m y1 by x1, 2 plus m upon c minus 2m. Now 10 pi by 4 is how much? 10 pi by 4 is m1 minus m upon 1 plus m1 m, that is equal to m1 is nothing but m1. Actually this is was m1. This is m1 minus m1 minus m is 2 plus m1 upon c minus 2 m1 upon 1 plus m1 m. So m1 into 2 plus m1 c minus 2 m1 कितना आया, ये कैलकुलेट करेंगे. ये आपका आ गया c m1 minus 2 m1 स्क्वायर minus 2 minus m1 upon c minus 2 m1 plus 2 m1 plus m1 स्क्वायर. कुछ कैंसिल नहीं हो रहा है. टू एक्स प्लस सी वाई 2x plus cy 2x minus 2y. So 2x plus cy 2x minus cy, ठीक है. 2x plus cy ठीक है. 2 plus cm 2 minus cm minus m, ठीक है. तो m हाँ ये गलती कर दी, ये c था यहाँ पर c. तो 2 plus m1c. Yes, now how much is m1c minus 2 m1 square minus 2 minus 2 minus 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 m1c upon this is c minus 2 m1 plus 2 m1 plus m1 square c. This is cancelled, this is also cancelled. This is actually 2 by c equal to 1. So c equal to plus minus 2. क्या पूछा है? मोड c that is equal to 2. खत्म हो गई बात. Now this is the question number 9, 10 and 11. Yes guys, बहुत ध्यान से इसको देखना. क्या है? fx equal to x cube minus 3x plus 1 into x minus alpha upon x minus alpha. The range of fx is proper subset of real numbers. Range of fx is proper subset of real numbers means the range of fx is not completely real numbers. It is less than, smaller than set of real numbers. So what to do? Let us draw the graph of what? Fx is equal to x cube minus 3x plus 1 when x is not equal to alpha. This is f dash x comes to be 3x square minus 1, तो प्लस 1 माइनस 1, और ये आपका हो जाएगा ग्राफ -1 +1 +1 पर मिनिमा और x -1 x +1 ना पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव पॉजिटिव, तो इंक्रीज कर रहा है, हाँ मिनिमा आएगा और यहाँ पर मिनिमा, यहाँ पर मैक्सिमम। ओके, तो ड्रॉ करिए, ग्राफ को ड्रॉ कीजिए। ग्राफ आएगा, यहाँ पर लीजिए मिनिमा 0 पर ये +1 है तो यहाँ से पास होगा, और फिर यहाँ पर मुझको देगा एक मैक्सिमा, और मैक्सिमा देने के बाद फिर ये आ जाएगा चुपचाप नीचे। ये है ग्राफ x क्यूब माइनस 3x प्लस 1 का, अगर मैं अल्फा की वैल्यू भी मैं कंसिडर नहीं कर रहा हूं, क्योंकि अगर मैं अल्फा की वैल्यू कंसिडर करूंगा यहाँ पर कुछ, तो मुझे इस वैल्यू के कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग एक बबल बनाना पड़ेगा, एक गड्ढा, एक मुझे मिसिंग पॉइंट शो करना पड़ेगा ग्राफ में। हाँ, तो ये वैल्यू कितनी है x इक्वल टू 1 पर, x इक्वल टू 1 पर इसकी वैल्यू कितनी है, पुट करेंगे -1, तो x इक्वल टू 1 पर ये वैल्यू है -1, और x इक्वल टू -1 पर इसकी वैल्यू है कितना, 4 - 1 3, दिस इज 3। ओके, अब आ जाइए बात, देखिए पहले क्वेश्चन में उसने कहा है कि प्रॉपर सबसेट है, ये ध्यान रखना है, मतलब रेंज जो है वो सारे रियल नंबर नहीं होनी है। रेंज क्या नहीं होनी है, सारे रियल नंबर। तो अल्फा की क्या वैल्यूज हो सकती है कि रेंज सारे रियल नंबर ना हो। बेटा अगर मैंने अल्फा कुछ ऐसा माना कि मुझे यहाँ मिसिंग पॉइंट बनाना पड़े, तो इसकी रेंज क्या होगी, इसकी रेंज ऑल रियल नंबर हो जाएगी। आप -∞ से +∞ तक y एक्सिस पर चलिए तो आपको कहीं ना कहीं कोई ना कोई नंबर मिल जाएगा, मतलब ग्राफ दिखेगा लेफ्ट में या राइट में। अगर मैं यहाँ पर बनाऊं तो भी मुझे, यहाँ पर बनाऊं तो भी, यहाँ पर बनाऊं तो भी, यहाँ पर, यहाँ पर, यहाँ पर, यहाँ पर, यहाँ पर, इनमें से किसी पर भी मैं, किसी पर भी यहां से लेकर के ये यहाँ 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 पर, यहाँ पर, यहाँ पर, यहाँ पर, यहाँ पर, यहाँ पर, दिस हियर, हियर एंड हियर एंड हियर ऑल्सो, अगर मैं कहीं पर भी एक मिसिंग पॉइंट बनाऊं तो इसके ग्राफ से पता चल रहा है कि इसकी रेंज और रियल नंबर तब भी होगी, यानी प्रॉपर सबसेट रियल नंबर का रेंज नहीं रह जाएगी। तो क्या करूं, मुझे ऐसा अल्फा चूज करना है कि मैं यहां पर सर्किल मुझे ना बनाना पड़े, तो फिर कहां सर्किल बनाऊं, तो मुझे सर्किल बनाना पड़े यहां पर, तब तो बात भी है, तब तो मैं कहूंगा कि जो रेंज है वो ऑल रियल नंबर एक्सेप्ट दिस वन, या फिर यहां पर ऑल रियल नंबर एक्सेप्ट दिस वन। तो यहां पर बनाने के लिए, यहां पर बनाने के लिए क्या करूं, कैसे पता करूं, x की वैल्यू इससे बड़ी हो और इस x से छोटी हो, मतलब अल्फा x इक्वल टू अल्फा है ना, अल्फा की वैल्यू इस वैल्यू से छोटी हो या इस वैल्यू से बड़ी हो, तो सर्किल यहां बनेगा या फिर यहां बनेगा, और तब इसकी रेंज, इन दैट केस द रेंज ऑफ दिस ग्राफ विल नॉट बी द सेट ऑफ रियल नंबर। So what to do? Let us find out this x actually. How? Y equal to 3. Solve x cube minus 3x plus 1 is equal to 3. X cube minus 3x plus 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. This is nothing but x minus 2, x plus 2 and x minus, this is actually 2, no, this is cubic by inspection. 2 2 ja 2 3 ja 8, 2 cube 8 minus 6 minus 2. Yes, x equal to 2. So this is x equal to 2. And how much is this? Let us solve. Y equal to 1 and x cube minus 3x plus 1 is equal to minus 1. X cube minus 3x minus 2 plus 2 is equal to 0. X equal to minus 2 put करते हैं, minus 8 plus 6 plus 2. Yes, this is x equal to minus 2. So alpha should be less than minus 2 or alpha should be greater than 2. In that case, the dot or missing point will be here or here or here or here. Hence, the range will not remain all real numbers. So I will say the possible values of alpha to have a range proper subset of real number should be this one. Number of integral values of alpha values that alpha cannot take. Okay, between in this interval, which numbers are missing? Integers are missing: minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, and 2. So there are 5 integers that alpha should not take in order to have proper subset of real number at the range of fx. Now, limit x tending to alpha fx. Okay, this is f alpha. f alpha कितना होना चाहिए? अगर प्रॉपर सबसेट है तो वो भाई f alpha तो क्या होना चाहिए? f alpha मतलब रेंज ना, तो ये वाला हिस्सा ना, ये वाला और ये वाला हिस्सा ना, isn't it? यही तो है मिसिंग पॉइंट अल्फा वाला. तो f अल्फा क्या पॉसिबल है? अगर यहाँ अल्फा हुआ तो ये वैल्यू फंक्शन की, अगर यहाँ पर अल्फा हुआ, यहाँ पर अल्फा हुआ तो ये वैल्यू हो जाएगी, यहाँ पर अल्फा हुआ तो ये वैल्यू हो जाएगी, यहाँ पर अल्फा हुआ तो ये हो जाएगी, यहाँ पर अल्फा हुआ तो ये हो जाएगी. तो क्या पॉसिबल वैल्यूज हैं एफ अल्फा की? एफ अल्फा की वैल्यूज जो रेंज है, मतलब -∞ से -1 एंड 3 से इन्फिनिटी. तो -∞ से -1 एंड 3 से इन्फिनिटी. दिस इज द आंसर. Now come to the question number 12. Maximum value of expression y equal to x raised to power 4 minus x square upon x power 6 plus 2x cube minus 1 for x greater than 1 is p by q. It occurs at x equal to a plus root b by c. Guys, if I have to get the maximum value, and I will use if maxima minima for local maxima minima here, it is very difficult to get f dash x. So something creative to be. So ये कैसे, how to do it? सोचिए कैसे करूं. x की पावर 4 से डिवाइड कर दूं मैं न्यूमरेटर डिनोमिनेटर में, then I will get 1 minus 1 by x. No. What to do? If I divide by x cube, oh yes, y is equal to, this is x minus 1 by x upon x cube plus 2 minus 1 by x cube. X is greater than 1. Now this is y equal to x minus 1 by x upon, this is x minus 1 by x cube minus 3 x minus 1 by x plus 2. Am I right? X cube minus 1. Actually, x minus 1 by x cube is equal to x cube minus 1 by x cube minus 3 x minus 1 by x. So this should be plus here. So x is greater than 1. So y is equal to t upon t cube plus 3t plus 2, and what the values of 1 by x can take for x greater than 1? Let us check. Y is equal to, z is equal to x minus 1 by x dz by dx is equal to 1 minus 1 by x square if x is greater than 1. If x is greater than 1, 1 by x square is less than 1. So this is positive increasing function. So least value of this will be taken at x equal to 1, and that is 0. So t is greater than 0. For x greater than 1, x minus 1 by x can take the least value as 0, because for x greater than 1, this is a increasing function. Now, for t greater than 0, I have to evaluate its maximum value. What to do? If I divide by one more thing I can do, y is equal to 1 upon t square plus 3 plus 2 by t. If I have to maximize it, I have to minimize z, t square plus 2 by t dz by dt is equal to 2t minus 2 by t square. Here, this is 2 t cube minus 1 upon t square, 1 positive negative, decreasing and then increasing. So minima. So t equal to 1, at t equal to 1, this is minimum, hence this is maximum, hence this is maximum. So t equal to 1 gives greatest value, because single maxima, so greatest value I will obtain at it. So put t equal to 1, here I will get 1 upon 6. Y maximum is equal to 1 by 6. Now x t equal to 1 means x minus 1 by x is equal to 1. X square minus 1 minus x is equal to 0. So x is equal to 1 plus minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2. That is 1 minus plus minus root of 5 by 2. Now because x is greater than 1, so I will reject negative sign here. So x equal to 1 plus root of 5 by 2 is the value where maxima occurs, and maximum value is this. So now comparing this with this, a is equal to 1, b is equal to 5, c is equal to 2, maximum value is p by q. So p is equal to 1 and q is equal to 6. P is equal to 1, q is equal to 6. Addition of all these we have to get. So addition of all these will be 6, 8, 9, 15. Okay, question number 13. Fr to R, a real function defined as 2x cube minus 21x square plus 17x plus 24. Number of integers in the solutions of the solution set of x satisfying the inequality f of fx minus 2x cube greater than equal to f of f2x cube minus fx is. Okay, guys, here I can take inverse to reduce number of f on both sides, but before removing these f from both sides, I have to ensure whether it is decreasing or increasing, because if it is decreasing, then taking inverse on both sides, the inequality sign should change, and if it is increasing, then taking f inverse on both sides, the sign should not change. So let us find whether f dash x is positive or not. This is 6x square minus 42x plus 78. Okay, that is 6x square 7x 13. The d of this is 49 minus 4 into 13. That is negative, hence this is positive. So f is increasing function, so there is no problem. Just remove 2f from here and 2f from here. I mean taking inverse twice, f inverse and then f inverse. Inequality sign will not change. So fx minus 2x cube is greater than equal to 2x cube minus fx. That is fx is greater than equal to 2x cube. I will get from here. So So number of integers in the solutions of this satisfying this. Okay. So put the value of fx here. I will get 2x cube minus 21x square plus 78x plus 24 greater than equal to 2x cube. That is 21x square minus 78x minus 24 less than equal to 0. So from here I can divide it by 3. 7x square minus 26x minus 8 less than equal to 0. And by solving this, yes, this is okay. रूट निकाल लेते हैं दोनों का, अल्फा और बीटा. So x is equal to 26 plus minus root of b square plus 478 by 14. Though two values are there, so 7 by 2 minus 2 by 7 to x less than equal to 4, and the number of integers will be 0, 1, 2 and 3, that is 4. Now next question 14. Maximum value of cos alpha 1, cos alpha 2, cos alpha n under the restrictions that alpha 1, alpha 2, so all the numbers are in first quadrant, and cot alpha 1, cot alpha 2 and cot alpha n product is given 1. Okay, from here it is clear that cos alpha 1, cos alpha 2, cos alpha 3, it is a very famous problem actually. You can find it in many books, is equal to sine alpha 1, sine alpha 2 and so on, sine alpha n. This is supposed y, and hence y square is equal to this into this. I can do because these quantities both are equal. So sine alpha 1 cos alpha 1, sine alpha 2 cos alpha 2 and so on. This is 1 by 2 raised to power n sine. I can multiply 2 everywhere and divide, 2 divide and so on. So 1 upon 2 raised to power n sine 2 alpha 1 sine 2 alpha 2 and so on guys, up to sine 2 alpha n. Now I have to maximize it. How to maximize it? Put maximum value of each one, that is 1. So y square less than equal to 1 upon 2 raised to power n. So y less than equal to 1 upon 2 raised to power n by 2. So maximum value of y, that is product of this, is 1 upon 2 raised to power n by 2. This is answer. Next one. Moreover guys, here in this question in exam, see, in nature the maxima or minima occurs at symmetry. So when these quantities are equal, then the product will be maximum or minimum. So what to do? We have to equate each one. We have to make it equal. So alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n, each one should become pi by 4. ये सब बराबर हो जाने चाहिए, तब ये मैक्सिमम मिनिमम मिलता है मुझे. सिमेट्री पर मिलता है नेचर में मुझे मैक्सिमम मिनिमम, और नेचर मतलब जो इवेंट हो रही है वो उनका मैथमेटिकल एक्सप्रेशन कुछ तो है ही ना. सो क्वेश्चन नंबर 15. f एक डिफरेंशिएबल फंक्शन है. fx इज इक्वल टू माइनस एक्स स्क्वायर माइनस एक्स प्लस 1 e raised to power x plus 0 to x minus c raised to power y f dash y. If f1, f dash 1, f double dash 1 is equal to ke, then find k. Okay, let us do it. Multiply here. fx is equal to minus x square minus x plus 1 e raised to power x plus, I can take e raised to power x out because it is constant for this integral, and here is e raised to power minus y f dash y dy. This is minus e raised to power x fx. Sorry, e raised to power minus x fx is equal to. Actually, I want to get rid of e raised to power x from here so that Leibniz rule can be applied. And after applying the Leibniz rule, I don't want to see integration again in the equation. It is trouble for me. So my effort is always like this. If I differentiate it, I don't want to see integral again. So modify your equation like in this way. E raised to power minus x fx is equal to minus x square minus x plus 1 plus 0 to x e raised to power minus y f dash y dy. Now let us differentiate it on both sides. This is fy e raised to power minus e raised to power minus x fx plus e raised to power minus x f dash x is equal to minus 2x plus 1, and here is e raised to power minus x f dash x dx f dash x. Guys, e raised to power minus x f dash x is cancelled, and very smoothly fx is equal to 2x minus 1 e raised to power x. Now what to get? Everything I know. F1, this is e. F dash x, how much? F dash x is how much? This is 2 e raised to power x plus 2x minus 1 e raised to power x. So how much is f dash 1? F dash 1 is 2 e plus e 3e. And what is f double dash x? F double dash x is 2 e raised to power x plus 2 e raised to power x plus 2x minus 1 e raised to power x. So at x equal to 1, this is 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1, 4, 5, 5e. F double dash 1 is 5e. So the sum is 9e. So k is 9. Question number 16. Fx is a continuous and differentiable function satisfying the following conditions. The product of the functions from 1 to 6. See, what is this? F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, negative. From here, F2, F4, F6 negative, and from here F3 and F6 negative, and F6 positive. F6 is positive. From 3, F3 is negative. F3 is negative, and from 2, if x6 is positive, then f2 and f4 are of opposite sign. And from 1, this is positive, this is negative, this is negative, this quantity is negative, this quantity is positive, and moreover f2 f4 negative. This is f2 and f4 negative. So f1 and f5 product should be negative. So f1 and f5 are of opposite sign. Let us, before drawing the graph, actually we have to find out number of such possible cases, because he is asking set consisting number of distinct possible roots of fx equal to 0. So in all cases we have to count number of roots. There may be different cases for fx. Let us draw.